Live Flip community, I wanted to hop on real quick and tell you my origin story, right? How did I go from nothing, a college kid that's broke, taking 15 credits in school, to doing 2 of my first real estate deals with not using any of my own money and making 10 grand in a month's period of time working like 5 hours a week. Some of you guys out there are probably big ballers and 10 grand isn't nothing to you, but to me that's a lot of money. I'm engaged right now, I've got payments, I've got school tuition to pay for, I've got lots of things going on, and 10 grand meant a lot to me, and I want to share that story of how I got into this, how I met Scott and Mike. First off, growing up, I love real estate. Probably like a lot of you since you're on this, you like real estate, you like being part of the game because it's so freaking exciting. More millionaires have been made through real estate, you probably all heard that, than anything else, right? And for me, I was like, man, I gotta get into this game, but I've always had the belief pattern, right, of, well, you need time, you probably need lots of time, it's gotta be your full-time job, you gotta commit to it. Secondly, or you got to be really rich, have maybe $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 you can start on maybe a home or an investment property, whatever it is. That's kind of what I always thought. I heard stories like this though that really inspired me. It's my Uncle Gary, and this guy went from nothing to building a real estate, I wouldn't say empire, but a very income producing real estate system that he developed in. And so I'll tell you my quick story of my Uncle Gary is, Uncle Gary, he worked for the school district. He's a janitor, a great guy, family man, Christian man, just a good guy. He's probably making less than 50 grand a year for sure working for the school district. When he's 48 years old, retires, buys a huge house on the hill, and done. Him and his family move up there, and he's like, everyone's like, what happened to Gary? This guy went from zero to like top of the hill, like mansion, beautiful place to live, right? What happened? There are people, are you doing drug money? Or are you doing, are you doing under the table? Are you flying down to Colombia and bringing stuff? What are you doing, Gary? And he said, guys, for the last 15 years, I've been buying real estate. What are you talking about? He started out with a duplex. And I talked to him on the phone just a little bit ago, and he told me his story. So he started buying duplexes. And he saved up just enough money to put a down payment on. I think he put a down payment, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 grand. Saved some money up, and he really was saving. They were pinching. Put some money down, got a loan from the bank, had a duplex. And then over time saved that money, put it all back in, lived in this modest, teeny little life, put it back in, bought another duplex, and then bought a fourplex, another fourplex. And he did this over and over again, and over his career of however many years, he had 28 units total, producing income every month. And finally he sold a couple of them and bought his dream home. And obviously the market has been going like this a while, so he had a lot of appreciation on his rental properties, and sold a couple of them, and he retired. Now that is a story that just gets me out of bed in the morning. The problem for me, I heard that and I was like, man, I want to do that one day, right? But I'm 23 years old, I don't have 30 grand to put into an investment property. What am I going to do? And there's about the same time as where I started meeting up with Scott and Mike, and I met Scott first, and Scott introduced me to Mike, and I just said, hey, can I just come? I just want to drive around with you guys. Head down to the place with you, you're doing a flip or whatever. So I started driving around with Mike and Scott, and Scott told me about this thing called wholesaling. And that's kind of what we're talking about now, but wholesaling of how you can not use any of your money, you can connect a buyer and a seller and make a 5 grand fee in the middle. Right? Really what you're doing is you're finding people that are in distressed properties, somebody that just had a divorce or maybe a death in the family or a foreclosure coming soon. They need to get out of their house. They have a $90,000 house. You say, hey, I love your $9,000, you're asking 90? Great, we're asking 90? Awesome. Can I put that under contract for 14 days? They said, great, let's do that. Now you have a piece of paper that says you can buy a house for 90 grand. You take that piece of paper and go to your cash buyers, which Mike and Scott told me how to build that cash buyers list. Go find them and say, hey, I got a house for $95,000 over here. Who wants it? Somebody will come by, hey, I love that house. I say, that's great. I want it for 95. Great. You want it for 95, she wants it for 90. What's gonna happen to that 5 grand in the middle? Oh, I hit this. It's going to me, right? In the middle, it's coming to me. And I did this twice. So we found a property, we found cash buyers, connected them in the middle. They all know this is under the table, they know what's going on. I don't need a license to do this. And Mike taught me all this, and I made 5 grand on my first one and 5 grand on my second one. It felt like I was kind of like printing money. After you have to set up, obviously find the house, you got to find the cash buyers, but after that, set up that system, it's not too hard. And I'm excited to do my next one and my next one. I'm getting excited for this, but I hope you guys are getting excited for this too, because it's something that all of you can do. Mike always says there's guys with mustard stains on their shirts that are just stupid like people. That's hard to say, but they're just not very intelligent people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate every year. And I always hear that, like, why not me? You know, why can't, if he can do it, I can do it. And I hope you feel the same way. So I wanted to share that quick origin story about how I got into this game and what I'm doing.